fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It's your trusted Dungeon Master, Brian, welcoming you once again to another one of our episodes of our Dragon's Demand run-through. As always, before we begin, I like to kind of give you the news and the views of everything that's going on now. And I want to remind everybody that we are going to be a little spotty on our attendance for the show over the next couple of weeks as I start to actually move my house from one coast to the other. But that doesn't mean we're not going to have material. I'll still try to put some of the archived stuff out there and even try to run a few interviews again until we could get all the hard slingers back once more behind their mics in their virtual eye of destiny. Anyways, all that being said, like I like to say, don't forget you can follow us on any one of our social media footprints. We got our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter account. Find us and subscribe to us at Roll the Hard 20 on our YouTube channel. Please, we got to get these subscribers up. My daughter, her cat, Luna, has a channel, and that cat has more subscribers than Roll the Hard 20 podcast does. So we must do something about that. My fellow slingers, now's the time. Take that finger, that +3 finger of subscribe and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and make us proud. Yes, don't forget. You can also find us at Roll the Hard 20 podcast at gmail.com. Write into me. Let me know what you think of this show. Let me know if you want to hear us run any more Delta Green, because I just picked this up, the fall of Delta Green. I got some reading material for the airplane flight out to the East Coast, and I'm looking forward to boning up on this, as well as some of the other scenarios that I'm trying to get ready for the hard slingers of yore. And as it is, one of those hard slingers of yore is going to be moving into a southern state, so we're going to have all three of us on on different coasts basically, and this will be fun. So you'll still get the same kind of great audio quality, although we won't be around the table of judgment in the rage room. I think we're going to go rage wide, nation rage. Okay, anyways, all that being said, I'm just having fun with everybody, but please don't forget to like us and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like us and leave us that 5-star rating on whatever podcast app you listen to the show on, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeart Radio, and Apple Podcast. Well, let's see. After that, let's just warm up our dice and top off our glasses. Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents episode 18 of our Dragon's Demand run-through, the Blood Vow Lair. Start our Whoa! Ooh, did you hear that?
Wow!
Oh, she got sexy.
Damn! I just got wood.
I'm doing good, Ryan.
6 to midnight,
dude. I haven't had somebody talk that sexy to me in a long time.
And she's recording.
Right? Wait till she says good night.
Good night.
Let me close this window.
Good night, Flint Hardcock.
That's right.
Things are about to get
Flint
weird.
Hardshaft, prepare to be recorded. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good. Nick's looking hardcore tonight.
He is. It looks
like
like you just got to finish rolling somebody for some buds. You know, it's free in California.
It's not free. It's legal.
Oh, well, that's what I meant.
I mean, okay, go up to Humboldt. There, it's free.
Colorado, man.
I don't know about Colorado.
I mean, it's an Adidas hat. It's not.
Oh, I thought there was a pot leaf on there.
No.
Hey, quiet.
It's legal.
The kobolds are fucking restless.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of kobolds, are we ready?
Let's do these.
Let's do this.
Sweet.
Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is your trusted Dungeon Master, Brian, and with me, the Hard Slingers.
Yeah.
Episode 18 of our Dragon's Demand run-through. Now, when last episode, you guys finally left Hunclay's Manor and decided to head back towards the limestone quarry to finally do what the Baroness had asked you to do, which was to eliminate the kobold threat. As you guys made your way to the rim of this giant quarry, you guys decided to start heading down. You noticed that there were a couple of guards, a couple of kobolds that were on sentry duty out in front of one of the openings. And as you try to get closer, you notice that two more of them came out from an overhang that was directly across from that opening right next to the water line. After a large volley of arrows and you guys returning fire and eventually dispatching the two underneath the overhang, you heard from within the opening, "Oh no, there are a lot of them." And basically, that's all you heard at that point. So I don't remember who was standing where, so you're going to have to refill me in on that aspect. But according to our initiative tracker right here, Stubby, what would you like to do as you see this dark opening gaping in front of you? By the way, make an insight check.
Okay. Insight, huh? Come on, baby. 12. Roll to 12.
12. You're kind of baffled how these other two that you just killed under this overhang crossed in front of crossed from the opening of this cave to the overhang where they were at. The distance is probably about 20 feet, but you seem to notice that there's some kind of a trail that leads further up the water line behind more of the rocks.
Are you saying that? So we have two openings.
Well, you have one opening that you see.
Yep.
Then you see there's an overhang. You're right here. But behind the overhang, there appears to be like a little bit of a trail that goes a little bit further along the water line. Let me see if I can draw.
Okay, so you've got an opening, and perhaps the kobolds are taking this trail behind some other rocks to get to where the overhang's at. In other words, they're kind of undercover behind these rocks.
So like, if that was the opening,
Got it.
and this is the overhang,
Yep.
it almost seemed like there was some kind of a trail that led between rocks that didn't lead into the opening, but behind some rocks.
Okay, so
went further down the line of the coast.
Okay, so they're using the rocks as cover, it seems, between the opening and the overhang.
Right.
Okay. So I'm pretty certain from the last time we played that I had hauled ass down the ramp and was in the thick of it.
Yeah, but you guys had killed the two that were under the overhang.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
you weren't really certain how many were inside the mouth of that cave.
Okay. And I think also last time I had a successful stealth check and am now hidden from view. Are there any other kobolds that we're engaging at this point?
Not outside, no.
Okay. So I would like to make my way towards the opening in a stealthy manner.
Okay.
And kind of recon that. Before I do that, though, I look back to kind of get a view of where the rest of the party is.
I think Warren was down at the base with you.
I was on my way down. I had not made it all the way down.
Who
just
made it
yet.
down? Sirkin, you made it all the way down, right?
Yeah, I think I was.
And Flint, I don't remember.
Flint was making his way down.
Yeah, you gotta remember,
Slowly.
I was totally ill at the time of our last recording, but now I have my faculties about me, so you can get one over on me. So, Flint, you and Warren are actually on your way down. Sirkin, you're at the base, and Stubby, you're moving towards the mouth of this opening.
Okay. I look back at Sirkin and motion to him with tactical hand signals that I am headed towards the
You.
yeah you in the hole. That I'm headed towards the overhang. And then I pause a moment just to make sure that he understands where I'm going and that he's aware of my location.
Sirkin just gives a blank stare. He's like,
That's not good. I don't want to play.
Stupid halflings can't even fucking see in the dark. They want me to play their dumb little games too.
How far am I from Sirkin?
That's at your discretion. I don't know how far Sirkin was along that ridge when he fired into the overhang. I'm going to say he's probably about 25 feet away from you.
Okay, so I'm going to motion. I'm going to point to myself and say that I'm going to walk towards the overhang and see if I get the same blank stare from Sirkin or not.
I'm gonna roll for this. What do you think I should roll for?
Probably insight.
Yeah.
Insight. I got a 7.
His little sausage fingers that really don't bend at multiple angles. You have no idea what he's talking about. You just see him like gesturing with his fingers, and then pointing back at the overhang, and for all you know, he wants you to loot the bodies.
Okay, so I'm going to just wave him down and see if that gets him to come down.
All right. I think that.
You got that hand signal? Come on down.
I got that.
Okay.
I need to wipe.
Warren, you finally reached the base of this quarry.
Okay.
You see that Sirkin's making his way towards Stubby. You see the 2 dead kobolds under the overhang. And you also notice a trail that leads between the rocks further north along the coast. That's further north of the opening that Stubby seems to be looking into.
Okay, so the base of the path where I'm at now is 20 feet or 25 feet from the cave entrance?
You're probably about 25 feet away from the cave entrance.
Okay.
And then you see that directly across from it is a rock overhang, which is where the kobolds perished. And then you see like a worn trail that leads between some of these larger boulders that zigzags its way further north along the shoreline and disappears out of sight.
So I am going to kind of keep a very, very close eye on the cave, and I can see through darkness. So
it's afternoon right now, so.
Well, I understand that, but I'm assuming it's dark in the cave.
Yeah, it's dark in there.
Okay.
Or darker than out here, so.
Right. So
Darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. So I'm just going to very cautiously, basically, I'm ready to throw an Eldritch Blast if I see something in the cave move. And I'm just going to very kind of slowly, carefully walk in the direction of the overhang while keeping like almost all my attention on the actual cave, seeing if I can see any kobolds inside. And from where I am, I should be able to see about 100 feet into the cave.
Okay, make a perception check as you're looking in there.
That's a 12. So
from what you can tell, you see that the entrance to the cave looks like it goes in about 25 feet to the northeast.
And then you just see that.
And that's all you can see.
It's just black.
Okay.
But the edges of this cave are not smooth. They're jagged. They're very porous. You really can't tell possibly if something may be hiding in one of those cutouts or not.
Okay. Okay. I'm still gonna because as far as I'm aware, that's where our biggest sense of danger is likely to come from. So I'm just gonna keep my eye on it as I make my way towards Stabby and I'm assuming Sirkin as well over at the overhang.
I think Stabby's at the mouth of the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm not far from it. I'm
okay.
stealthed, and I'm kind of just holding that position, waiting for everybody else to come down.
Essentially then I guess I'm just kind of like covering Stabby if he looks like he's about to go move into the cave or whatnot.
Flint's
gonna make his way down and regroup with everyone, just checking out, to see if there's any other kobolds left over.
You just see the 2 dead ones underneath the overhang. You know that, as well as everybody else, that you had heard voices coming from the mouth of that cave that has drawn everybody's attention. That's against the eastern side of the quarry. And you as well notice that there's a like a beaten path that goes between these larger rocks that maneuvers its way a little bit northern up the coast of this, up the shoreline of this quarry, and then disappears behind some of the larger rocks.
I roll perception to check out the foot traffic on that cave.
It's not
Or
on the
on
cave
the
or on the
path?
trail.
Or the trail.
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
little pathway. Yeah, we're start out with an 18.
18. You notice that there's a lot of traffic on there. A lot of it appears to be newer traffic,
Okay.
and they all appear to be the same kind of traffic, the same kind of three-toed, pointed heel, probably about maybe 6 inches long or so.
Okay. I'll mention that to the group.
So they're camel toes.
Yeah.
There's a camel toe.
It's moose knuckles.
One coherent thought, please, people. One coherent thought. That's all I want.
Ninja
I'll kind of like glance back at Flint. Do we want to follow that path? My concern is that we might get flanked either from there or from, and I point to the cave.
I had my suspicions on that as well. Last thing I want to do is head into one of these tunnels and be surprised by finding someone in front of us and then someone behind us.
Mm-hmm. I think if we investigate the path, though, I think that they would expect us to go into the cave entrance first.
I feel like we're spread out a little bit. I feel like the group is where one part of us is going one way and the other part of the group is going another.
Mm-hmm.
So I look around, I'm trying to get everybody back to the same location to figure out what it is that we're doing.
You using those bitchin' hand signals again?
That's
I
right.
am using the hand signals, clicks and pops with my mouth to get people to come over.
They go the fucking.
You can't even do it.
Do this.
I mean, at this point, Warren's probably only like, I don't know, maybe 15 feet away from Stabby. So I'll go ahead and move the rest of the distance over to him.
So
Still
you're going to the
keeping-
mouth of the entrance, close to
Yes.
the mouth. Okay.
Still paying most of my attention to like what might be in the cave that I can see.
Sirkin, what do you want to do?
Right now I'm with Stabby, and I think Sirkin wants to go down the tunnel, but he wants to get everyone's opinion first. So he's just going to wait for everyone to gather up first and discuss it then.
Flint?
All right, Stebby, what's the game plan?
All right.
2 that way, 1 man on first.
So the 4 of us are going to go down the overhang. I'd like to look at the overhang a little bit more, just to make sure that we've ruled that out. So I huddle with the group and say, look, our adversaries were coming. The ones we killed are coming from the overhang. I'd like to investigate that first to make sure that we have explored all of those threats and extinguished them, and then we can look at the mouth of the cave and go down that path that goes around the rocks. Is everybody in agreement, or does somebody have another plan?
No, that sounds like a good start. We need to not be just standing here twiddling our thumbs. So
Yeah, right now you guys are just kind of standing right in the mouth of the cave. Or I'm assuming. You guys just kind of like
I would argue maybe just off to the side of the mouth of the cave, but yeah, basically.
okay.
Just right in the middle, just like, hey, where's the welcoming party?
So I look at Warren real quick and I say, Warren, how far can you see into the cave where the overhang is?
I mean, is there much to the overhang?
The overhang is just like a rock outcropping.
Mhm,
And just a couple of rocks that have made a semi shelf
mhm.
that was just high enough for the kobolds to hide under.
Probably
it's
stay out
the-
of direct sunlight.
Yeah, to keep them out of direct sunlight, but also be able to see the entire eastern portion and
Mhm.
southern portion of the quarry. Most likely able to see that opening of the tunnel that you guys came through when you went through the ruins of the witch tower. When you
Mhm.
guys had dropped down, and you went, I think it was like 2,000 feet or something like that, and popped out in the middle of the wall of the rock quarry.
Mhm.
But you guys came out at night, and I think that you had even noticed that there were guards down there at night with your dark
Yeah.
vision. But
Okay.
you didn't see the people, the two kobolds that were under the rock overhang, if they were there at the time. So,
Okay. I look back to the group and say, look, the other kobolds are probably expecting these two that we dispatched back soon.
quick,
So
put their
our-
skins on.
Yeah, quick. Wolf in sheep's clothing.
I'm waiting to use this dagger.
I mean, it's a good thing that Stabby is the only one who's the right size.
Yeah.
He gets to be our decoy. So quick, let's disguise him and then throw him in front.
So I say to the group, I go, look, we don't have much time here. The other kobolds are probably waiting for the return of these others on their guard duties. So I think we need to get headed towards the mouth of the cave. What do you guys all agree?
I think we need to inspect this trail.
I agree. I say maybe we head towards the other kobolds that are
Somebody
alert
got
to
really
our presence.
animated for a moment there.
And- that Warren,
I guess
agree.
Warren won't have any of that.
So Warren, I agree. Let's take the path toward behind the rocks that go towards the other cave mouth
Mhm.
and explore that.
Okay. So Warren's not going first.
No,
So what is it you're going to do? You're going to go into the cave mouth, or you're going to explore the trail and see where that goes? What do
we're
you
gonna
want?
go. I think we're gonna take the trail
Mhm.
behind the rocks that are
Okay.
close to the shoreline and head towards the other cave mouth. But
Oh.
we need to figure marching order. You don't want the thief in front.
You don't want the mage in front either.
Who do you want in front here? Give me some names.
Well,
I took-
Circle's already
I was
kinda
going to
heard
say
one.
it's down to 2 at this point.
Okay, you guys fight it out.
Flint, have you been hit yet?
Arm wrestle.
So we let our ranger go in the front.
Which one's that one? Sirkin?
Sirkin.
All right.
All right.
I'll go behind him.
How convenient. Who's going last?
I'm going third.
I guess Warren's going last.
I'll go third.
All right. So
Third in
Sirkin,
line.
you have been nominated to basically explore this trail that goes between these rocks, this beaten down earth. You agree with
Okay.
that? So you see it as you start making your way along this path. You see that it goes between large boulders. Some of them are 4 feet high, some of them are 10 feet high, and it starts to thin out. And again, you start to see the water off to your left, the water that's part of the quarry. And off to the right, you see 2 5-foot boulders, probably in diameter. They're oblong, ovoid in shape. But between them, you see the yawning opening of another cave. Appears to be dark as well. You have dark vision, correct?
Yes.
You see that it goes at a southeastern approach for about 25 feet, and then appears to turn directly to the east and out of your sight at that point.
Okay. I relay that information to the party. Tell them that there's another cave opening right up ahead. And then I ask you, do you guys want to try to go in this way, or do you want to go back to where we first started? What do you guys want to do?
I don't think that they're going to be expecting us from this way.
I'm in agreement. I say we forge ahead in the direction we're headed.
Element of surprise. Okay.
So going in through the other
Mhm.
less
Yeah.
known entrance.
Yes.
Sirkin, you're still leading the way
I guess.
by popular demand.
Yeah.
You see, like I explained, it goes about 25 feet southeastern, and then it takes a slight bend towards the east. As I explained with the other cave that Warren had seen, it the inside walls are just rough. It appears that you don't know if they were dug out or water had eroded through these, and some time ago, and just made these walls just jagged and very porous. Even the ceiling. The only thing that's fairly smooth is the floor of it itself. After about 25 feet, you see it turns to the east, and it goes for about another 40 feet before it starts to widen a little.
Okay. So have we entered the cave opening yet?
I'm assuming that you did. I'm assuming that you went
Okay.
that 25 feet, and then you got to the point where it turns to the east, and then you could see that it goes for about another 40 feet when it starts to get a little bit wider. So tell me what you would like to do, how you want to convey this information.
I guess I just like to lead the group forward towards where it starts to open up again, and kind of slowly approach that point, see if I can notice anything past beyond that point.
Okay. As you get to that larger area, it appears to get a little wider, maybe about 20 feet in diameter. And you notice that there's a 10-foot opening in the northern portion of this cave. You can see that about 35 feet beyond the opening is a set of rough handmade steps that lead up. And there's also an opening around the corner to the right in the eastern portion. You don't really hear anything, but you get this strong foul smell in the air, and it just starts to become really pungent. It's almost as though it really hung out in this rounded area where you're pausing to look and see the steps off to the upper left and around the corner, but it just seems to be stagnant in this area and just stinks to high hell.
Okay.
All right, and
Sirkin doesn't have a
for lunch.
good. Yeah, it doesn't have a good feeling, but like just standing still. So he quickly kind of like describes the party members, the openings in the east and north. So which direction do you guys want to go? Do you guys want to go up the stairs, or do you want to try to go?
Can we hear things coming from one direction and not the other?
Make a perception check.
I'd like to do perception also along with Warren.
I have a 14.
14?
Mhm.
Stubby?
I rolled a lucky 13.
13. You hear an occasional, like a snap, like a twig snap from around the eastern portion where it turns around to the east. But it's kind of like a white noise, kind of a snap. You kind of hear it every once in a while. Hear it more frequently than other. Sometimes it sounds like a chorus of it.
At this point, Warren would just kind of shrug and say, "Let's pick one and go, and not be standing in one place."
Yeah, I'd like to attempt another stealth, and then move forward a little bit to see if, looking at the two possible ingress points of the cave. Okay. Come on. I'm like the weakest rogue ever. I rolled a 9.
A 9. So you actually make your way out, right? To kind of look at the 2 points of egress, the one to the northwest and the one to the east.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting an eye on what's happening.
Which area would you like to look at first?
I'll look at the steps first.
Okay. As you look at the steps, it looks like they go up about maybe 15 feet in elevation and plateau. And you can't see beyond the plateau because of your height. But this noise of the occasional snapping of whatever behind you to the right in the east stops. And you hear this almost like a guttural noise. And as you slowly turn, you see these 4 large rats on the floor amongst all these bones. And you could see that they had been gnawing on these bones intermittently, and that was the noise that you had heard. They look at you with their red eyes. Possibly another meal. But we're going to roll for initiative and find out now, aren't we?
I hate rats.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Give me your initiatives. Flint.
6.
Warren.
A powerful 11.
Sirkin.
10.
Stabi.
I rolled a 1, but as a halfling, I get luck, so I get to re-roll. And I still suck. I rolled an 8.
All right, let me set this up real quick.
Dude, the dice gods are not being nice.
Mm-mm. What did you do? Did you forget to like make an offering?
I think it's probably all of the
You didn't share your wine.
It's probably all the wine I drank and all of the concubines that I partook in.
I mean,
the first rat notices you and immediately charges and attacks you. 21 to hit. The second one attacks you with an 18. Third one will miss. And the fourth one with a 19 will hit.
All 4 of them attacked me?
All of them, because you're the only one out there.
Fuck that. You have your heel dusted off, Flint?
Yep. Getting ready. I was waiting to hear. And Stabi is
11
down.
points of damage as these 4 pounce on you.
11
Sirkin, you see your comrade just immediately get set upon. Warren, what are you going to do?
oh, Lordy. Okay. Stabby is 10 feet in front of me.
I'm going to say he's probably 15 feet, which is where the opening originates to see both sides of the room.
Okay. I would like to actually move right up behind Stabby, reach out, grab Stabby by like his back of his collar, and kind of pull him back and say, "Stabby, get back."
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
So if I'm able to, I would like to pull Stabby back 5 feet.
Okay. They're not latching onto him, they're just biting him.
That's fine.
And so, of course, if he's still conscious and he allows it, then that's
I
no
am.
problem.
I'm
Okay.
still conscious.
So
Are
you
these
pull
rats
him.
the
So
same size as
I, what?
Are these rats the same size as Stevie? I mean, they're giant.
Right?
Rat.
They're damn close
He's
to
a
it.
little, so make sure you
So-
grab him and not one of his.
I mean, they're all a little furry. It's going to be a little hard to say. I'm going to assume the one with clothing on, though, is Stabby. So I'm going to pull him back 5 feet, turn around to the rats, and fan my fingers out and cast a Burning Hand spell to catch all 4 of them.
Okay. That's a dex save, right?
That is a dex save.
First one.
Uh,
14.
DC is 13.
Okay, first one makes it.
Okay.
Second one is 11, misses. Next one is 19, makes it. And the fourth one misses. So 2 make and 1 miss.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
so
2 make, 2 miss.
So the 2 that fail their saving throw take 14 points of fire damage.
2 that
The
fail. Okay.
The 2 that failed. The
Okay.
2 that make it take 7 points of fire damage. And you know what? One of the are the ones that failed their save. Are they still alive?
The ones that fail, you see cook to a crisp. You see their fur
Sweet.
burn off their back. You see their flesh char down to the bone, and you see all their blood begin to evaporate from their body. 2 more still remain. They look horribly wounded at this point. But I think
Awesome.
it just invigorates them, galvanizes their point.
Okay.
Tough
I
bastard.
mean, at that point, Horn's going to use this last little tiny bit of movement to step back about 5 feet and hopefully make room for someone who's a little more meaty than he is.
I thought you were going to jump back into your ring. Sirkin, you just see Warren step up to bat, pull Stubby back, fan out his fingers, cook 2 of the rats to a crisp, leaving you 2 more for the main course. What would you like to do?
Okay. At that point, I'm going to pull out both my short swords and try to attack the first rat. I want to run up to him and try to attack him.
Okay.
First one. Let's see, that'll be a soft 20, so that'll hit.
That's going to hit.
Or. Sorry. For 5 points of damage.
Oh. Describe for me how you killed this first rat.
Basically, I'm just going to bring down one of my swords and just slice its head off.
You see it roll to the floor, tongue flopped out.
And for my second attack, can I try to attack the other rat?
You bet.
All right. Let's see, that'll be 18
That's going to hit.
or 6 points of damage.
And you dispatch the final rat as well. You don't seem to hear any more rats making their way down. Flint, you see
What?
Stubby kneeling to the porcelain god at Warren's feet.
Wow.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna see to Stubby's wounds and cast Cure Wounds
Come on, baby.
for him.
Let's go.
Let's see. He will be getting. What the hell happened there? 11 points of healing.
Oh.
Oh, that what it took
So that
away
was
from
pretty
you?
decent.
I reach up and I give Flint a kiss on the cheek.
Which cheek?
But you.
Because you're only so tall, you know.
I'd like to kiss his ass. I thank Flint for the heal. Thank you. I was near death.
So
Again.
yeah, right.
You're so welcome.
Well, you got yourself like a whole little ensemble here that, you know, one guy drags you out, one guy heals you, another guy defends you.
Defend my honor.
They're all my bitches.
So, Warren, as you watch Flint go ahead and heal your comrade, you notice that to the eastern portion of this room, it's just littered with straw and bones, all kinds of rat droppings, large rat droppings. It smells of urine. That's probably the heavy, pungent smell that you had, everybody had suffered when you first got in that little holding area right before coming into this room. And
Now we just smell the scent of cooked rat.
basically, it actually kind of smells a little appetizing, a little roof rabbit for you.
I smell a little better now.
Yeah, right? Burning up a little bit of straw there. Yeah, but to the northeast, you see the same steps that Stubby had noticed. That, you know, they look as though they're handcrafted out of the earth. They go up about 15 feet to a level area. But even from your height, you can't see what's at the top of that.
Okay. I look to Sirkin, kind of make an after you gesture.
Keep going, boy.
I'll go in right behind him as well.
Yeah.
I will have Stabby go in front of me so I can, you know, keep a slightly closer eye on him, and if he decides he's going to wander up, I'll kind of like, pull on the back of his collar again.
So
What am I?
Stubby is behind you. Okay.
I'm just gonna put him in like one of those leash harness, like
That's
monkey
exactly what I
backpacks.
was thinking of.
Give him a symbol.
Wow. What am I, a dog?
A monkey.
So, Sirkin, as you make your way up these steps, 15 feet higher, you notice they lead to an upper cavern that's shaped like an animal's head if it were facing to the east. Basically like a horse head. You can either you can see another set of stone steps in the north. They look like they again increase in elevation. But this time the passageway is much thinner. Looks like it's about 5 feet wide. To the east, if it would be the snout of the horse's head, looks like there's another passageway about 5 feet wide that goes for about 20 feet, and then you see steps that lead down. But in the middle of this room, you see a circular stone edifice that's hollowed out. It looks like it could be a well of some type.
Okay. I guess Sirkin will lead the group kind of towards the center of the room. And at that point, he's going to try to inspect the what looks like a well and see if he can see anything at the bottom of it.
It's about 5 feet wide, the opening itself, so it probably makes the well itself about 7.5 feet wide. As you look down, it looks like a 15-foot deep well. At 10 feet down is where the water is. Most likely, this is what is supplying water to this portion of the caverns for these kobolds. Where the water is being drawn from, who knows? It could be from the filthy, murky water out of the quarry. It could be from something further underground or something elsewhere that made its way to this point. But that's the only description that you have of this well itself.
Okay. I guess Sirkin will turn to the group and just ask, all right, again, 2 openings. Which way do you guys want to go? Let's make this quick so we don't try to get surprised again.
Since we've come in, have we followed the left or the right wall? Sorry, I've kind of lost track.
When you first came in,
Mm-hmm.
it went southeast and then east. And then there was a holding room, and then you went to the north. To the east of that was where the rats were, and to the northwest are the steps that led up to this plateau where the well is at.
Okay.
So now in this room, there are 2 points of egress that leave this room. One is to the north, which are steps that lead, they're 5 foot wide. They seem to lead up about 15 feet and then turn to the east. And then also directly across from the well to the east is another passageway. It's about 5 foot wide that has steps that lead down and then eventually look like they turn to the south.
I think we should probably follow the steps up further.
Yeah, I agree.
You're muted, Flint.
The one on the northern end?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in
Yeah.
agreement. Stabby
Okay.
is in agreement.
Sirkin, are you still leading this band?
I guess so.
All right.
You got voluntold.
Yeah, I like that. So as you start making your way up these steps, you notice that this passageway is between 4 and 5 feet. It varies due to the rough hewn of the walls. Steps lead up about 10 feet, and then they turn to the east, and that's where you start to see flickering of glowing light, most likely from torches somewhere. As you go about another 10 feet on stable ground at this point, you notice that there's just this large cavern. It's probably about 80 feet deep by 50 feet wide. You notice that there are these 4 large rocky columns, each in different diameter, that seem to stretch from the floor to the ceiling, which is well out of sight. You see that on some of these pillars are torches that have been basically rammed into the stone. They've had little cutouts made for them. And you don't really see anything else other than an occasional trinket or a piece of junk on the floor. But from where you're at, it's really difficult to tell what it is. It's probably about 20 feet in.
Do I hear any sounds coming from this room? Or is it just silence?
You kind of hear like crying, a little bit of crying. And then you hear shh, shh, shh.
To be, I already healed you.
Stop your whimpering.
Stop your whimpering.
How many torches are in here?
Well, there's 4 columns, each of different size. And you
Okay.
figure that at different points of the compass, there's probably a torch. So there's 16 torches. But they're not very bright. And they're not very thick either. And they don't really give a whole bunch of illumination to the room. But as I was explaining to Sirkin, there's like shit that's littering the floor here and there and here and there.
How far from me is the farthest torch?
The very farthest torch that you can see, or that
Warren
would be,
can see. That Warren can see.
it's probably about 65 feet into the room on the one of the columns that's in the southern portion of the room, one of the rock columns.
Okay. Have we kind of stopped for a moment to kind of assess what we're dealing with here? I'm assuming.
I'm guessing you guys stopped at the entrance to this cavern.
Okay.
Like you guys didn't go any further. Not like, hey, what's going on? You know, I would think that you guys would be more prudent with your progress after dealing with a couple of rats that basically decided to have fun.
With the halfling.
Yeah.
Warren is going to kind of step forward just a little bit and kind of like peer around. So you said we heard like kind of like what sounded like soft sobbing almost?
Yes.
Okay.
Coming from the furthest eastern portion behind one of the pillars.
Before he does that, Stabby is going to attempt another stealth check.
Okay.
I would actually, before you give your result,
Go ahead.
if you're okay with this, Brian, I would like to like assist Stabby, and by that I mean like, Stabby, you're shuffling your feet. Stop it. So if you are okay with that,
Yeah, I like that. Give me that flavor.
okay.
Add like
so,
a +2 to your roll.
or oh well, okay. Normally the helping or assisting would be advantage, but
But he already gets an advantage to that, don't you?
Well, I get a plus. I get a plus to stealth anyway.
Okay, roll it with advantage. It's okay.
Okay. Do you want me to re-roll? Because I had a pretty good roll here.
oh okay. I was just making sure you had a good roll. So
I have a good roll.
Well, you're not going to take the lesser of the two. You can re-roll it if you want. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
who
try
knows?
it.
You might get a crit.
Let's try it. Let's see.
Get our
stealth.
first hard 20 of the session.
Oh. Okay. Full disclosure. I rolled a 23 originally, and with advantage, I rolled a 24.
Ha
Good
ha.
help.
See.
Nice.
So, Warren, you said you wanted to do what?
Well, if I see Stubby moving ahead, then I'm actually just going to like provide cover, and if I see anything launch itself at Stabby, it's going to get an Eldritch Blast in the face.
Is he moving in, though? Or I thought he was just sitting, just going to stand there and go stealth.
I'm going stealth based on Warren moving forward.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
so that if the shit gets thick,
They
in
don't
stealth.
see you. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Come out.
In that case,
wood.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to go scouting. Warren would just move forward like just a few feet, and that torch that is at 65 feet is now within 60 feet. Warren kind of just makes a gesture at it, and its flame actually brightens so that it provides double the light.
Okay. As this light gets brighter, you notice 3 figures that are kneeling down at the back half of the cavern. cowering, and you notice two other figures that are standing up with bows drawn back, and they both let them go at the same time at you.
Oh, that's fucked up.
They both fire. Must be the brightness of that illumination that causes these arrows to go wide.
Oh, sweet. So, like, I impose disadvantage from the bright light?
No, I just rolled shitty.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But you know what we're gonna do? Let's. You guys want to stay with the same initiative, or you want to re-roll your initiative?
It's a new encounter. I would say that we have to re-roll initiative.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Aside from that, most of us got crappy initiative rolls.
Okay, Flint, what'd you get?
I'll always be at the bottom. Oh, never mind. I got a 17.
Warren.
I got an 18.
8. Damn.
Oh.
Sirkin.
I got a 19.
God damn.
Come on,
Stabby.
Stabby.
All the good
Make
rolls.
this perfect.
Fuck,
Make this perfect.
I'm gonna fuck this up. Oh, hard 20.
Yeah.
I rolled a 23.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Damn, you guys like blast this out of the sky.
Hails
Oh.
to the yizzle.
Yeah, let's see if our hit dice do the same
So-
thing.
Yeah.
Stubby, you've watched your comrade Warren step in a few feet, make a hand gesture. The torch illuminated very brightly. You saw these two arrows fire at him, missing him very wide. You now know that there appears to be somebody, or actually two perpetrators down at the furthest end of this cavern. What would you like to do?
All right, so I'm still stealthed. I am going to draw my short bow, and I'm
Okay.
going to attack with advantage because I'm stealth at the first closest enemy.
Okay, now if they're under partial cover, they still get +2 to their AC.
They're under partial cover from what?
No, behind partial cover.
They're behind partial cover. What
Yeah,
is
behind
that
the
partial
columns
cover?
themselves.
They're in
There's
columns.
4 large columns in the room.
Okay.
From where these came out, they were. Imagine you're up here.
Yep.
There's columns down here and down here. Imagine they're on the inside of these ones down here, and they just keep tucking back. So they've got like an alley fire at you. Does that make sense?
Yep. So they get a +2 to their AC on this.
So tell me which one you want to aim at. The one at the northern column or the one at the southern column?
Southern column.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. With advantage. 21.
Yeah.
That will hit.
Okay. And that is going to do 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Don't you have sneak attack?
I did. I got I did advantage first, but I get a second attack because
Well,
I
you
was stealth.
roll the D6 though too with that for the sneak
yeah.
attack.
Yep, D6. So that is going to be, if I can find my D6. There we go.
It's an
That is going to be another 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay. God damn, I'm hurt over here, Lionel. Sirkin, or did you want to do anything else to be?
Nope, I get one more. So I get cunning action. I'm going to attempt to enter stealth again. And I rolled a 14.
Okay. My God. Sirkin,
Well, hold on. Did I enter stealth with a 14?
maybe.
Okay.
You'll know if they start shooting at you.
There
Okay.
you go. You just rolled the number. That's all you got to do. Sirkin.
Sirkin is going to try to run for cover behind one of the columns that's on the side that we came in.
Okay, well, there's 2 columns to the north against the northern area, and there's 2 to the south. The ones that are furthest to the east are where those 2 guys are hiding at. So you could go to the northwestern column or the southwestern column.
And I engaged the southern enemy.
Right.
So Sirkin's actually going to go to the northwest column.
Okay.
He's going to pull out his longbow and try to hit diagonally at the person at the south column, ceiling column.
Okay.
And let's see, 16.
16 will hit.
Sweet. 4. 5 points of damage.
5. God damn. What else would you like to do?
Sirkin's just gonna take cover behind the column. And just
Okay. Warren.
Are these both kobolds?
From what you can tell, most likely from their
Okay.
dialect and syntax, sounds very similar to the kobolds you fought in the Witch Tower.
Okay.
You know we gotta do this?
Yeah,
Sesserac don't want to know that. No.
Can't you
Is-
tell by the Rastafarian dialect that they're the
Right.
same kobolds?
How far apart are the two kobolds from each other?
They're probably, from what you could recollect when they went into their partial cover, they're probably about 25, 30 feet apart from one another.
Okay. So I wouldn't be able to catch both. What I'm going to do is there a torch that is within 10 to maybe 15 feet from the northern kobold.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to take advantage of the kobold sensitivity to light.
Okay.
And so what I would like to do is I will gesture at that torch. As long as it's within 60 feet, I can do this. And the other torch that I had initially brightened is also still bright. While I do this, I can do this I can maintain up to 3 alterations with fire like this.
Okay, are you familiar with kobolds? Warren, I think we established that, right?
Yes.
Okay, make an insight check to that.
Oh, okay. That is a 14.
14, you would know that their sensitivity is to sunlight.
Okay.
Not torchlight.
Okay. Well,
So
okay.
I don't want you to think that the torchlight would be the same thing as the sun, because they're two different. They're two different.
Typically, it is classified as bright light, but if that is how we're rolling with this, then perfectly fine.
Yeah,
then in
that's
that
how
case,
it came up was as sunlight, and I don't like to metagame like that. But I know, like when dwarves use sun rods, it's because it's different than torches, and it allows dwarves to work the mines better because it provides a sunlike light,
okay.
rather than
No, totally
using
fine.
torches. And that's how they were able to do some of the stuff that they did. So
In that case,
I just don't want you to
Warren
waste something and have it come
It's a
and be
cantrip.
fruitless. Well,
It's
it's
a
a turn though. I don't want you to waste a turn on something stupid.
I appreciate that. Thank you. In that case, then that northern kobold is just going to get an eldritch blast just launched at his head.
Okay.
Dude, in the face!
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
That is a 15 to hit.
Okay, is that straight up 15? Because he's got. Okay, it actually hits him.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So in that case, he takes 9 points of force damage and another 3 points of fire damage. And then I will duck next to Sirkin for cover behind the pillar, and I will call out in Draconic. I recommend surrendering now before more of your brains get splattered.
Flint, hard shank.
Hardshank's gonna head towards the group and aim for the south end guy, the guy by the
Okay.
south pillar. So go ahead and have that guy make a dex saving throw for me.
15.
15 passes, so that's a win. So Flint will just stay behind with everyone else.
Where are you at?
If we entered the room and I'm shooting for the south end guy, I would say there's 4 pillars. I'd be at the bottom pillar, right?
Okay, because Warren and Sirkin are at the northern pillar.
Oh, okay. So I'd be on the opposite one, I guess.
Okay. Sirkin, as you fired and hit that one kobold.
Yep.
You hear a slight noise coming from around the pillar that you're at right there, and you see one of these meaty-looking, draconic-looking creatures right in front of you with a short sword, and he swings down at you.
Oh.
15
will miss.
will miss as he strikes the pillar right next to your head. You see an arrow come flying from the southeastern pillar at you, Warren. 15.
Misses. It
Misses.
deflects off of my mage armor.
And Flint, the one from the northeastern pillar, will fire diagonally down at you at the southwestern pillar. And I need to make a dex save because I rolled a 1. And you hear this bow become unstrung. Bing!
Attack!
Stubby,
He's armless.
from your stealth position that you had made, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna attack these bitches.
Don't tell
Papa.
me. Do it.
Okay,
my
short bow. Who's closest to me? Can I continue to attack the one that I was engaged with originally?
You can do that. He's still behind partial cover. In
Is
fact, the
the
two
other-
farthest ones are. The one that engaged Sirkin is actually in a smaller portion because that pillar is only allowing about 5 feet between the northern wall and the pillar, and that's where Sirkin and Warren are both at, and he came in on the other side, so you wouldn't be able to get to him unless you went all the way around through him.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the same kobold that was undercover.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to attack with my short bow with advantage because I'm stealthed, and I'm going to roll a 18.
18 will hit.
Sweet. Okay, and then I'm going to 6 points of piercing damage.
6 points. As you pierce this kobold right through the eye, you see him slump like a doll. As he falls to the ground, you see all this shit that was laying littered about kind of blow up as his body falls down. You know, like when you fall amongst debris and it kind of plumps up. Where his body lands behind one of the pillars, you hear more crying and whimpering from a few voices. You can't distinguish how many there are. You just hear one of the kobolds hiss, "Shut up! When that's done, we're gonna take care of you too. Keep doing what you gotta do." What else do you
I
want to
love
do,
these kobolds,
Stubby?
I'm gonna execute a stunning action and go to stealth again.
Okay, roll it for me, babe.
I rolled a 1, but with halfling luck, I get to re-roll again.
I hate that stupid rule.
That's
That's why I'm gonna have you with ketchup.
And I rolled a 21 this time.
Aha!
Well, I'll let you know.
So
Sirkin, you see one of these kobolds had been hiding behind that pillar and is now mano-y-mano with your half-elf self.
Okay, at that point, he's gonna drop his longbow and pull out one of his short swords and just try to quickly try to attack.
Yaijitsu.
Hey.
Let's see. And I rolled. Ooh, nice. 19.
19 is going to hit him.
Let's see. For 3 points of damage.
Yeah, damn. You want to do anything else? You gonna stay there and take it?
I think I don't have enough. I don't think I can attack with my other
No.
short sword, right?
You
I
could
just
move through Warren to get out if you wanted to.
But that would also provoke an attack of opportunity.
It sure would.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there.
choice. Warren.
I mean, so I see this kobold that's like 10 feet away from me with
Literally,
Sirkin
yeah.
in between myself and him. I'm just gonna
Sirkin's
kind of
like a taint right now.
right. I know. I'm going to look at the. I'm gonna just like look at the kobold and like kind of like basically just giving him a look, and then in Draconic I'm telling him, you really should not have gotten up today, as I throw an Eldritch Blast at him. Oh shit! Hard 20.
Damn.
Oh, that's 2 tonight.
Give me the damage.
Oh, this is gonna be ugly. That is 16 force damage and another 3 fire damage.
Dude.
You hear him say, "For Rago ha," and his head just explodes. You just see his body fall down, and again you see more of these little trinket things pop up and settle back down on him like confetti. From the far back of the room, you hear this, "Oh damn, I'm allowed." What else you want to do, Warren?
I will call out in a Draconic. Do you really want to be next? Throw down your weapons, and we will talk.
What you gonna do to me that Rogan has won't do? No way. I'm staying here. I feel him more than I feel you.
I hope you enjoy your brains on the wall then.
No. Flint, is there anything you want to add to this dialogue?
Since I don't speak Dracana, probably
Draconic.
not. Dracana. Dracana.
I'm a little Dracano.
It's a summer fragrance.
Like Summer's Eve.
Summer's Eve. Different summer fragrance.
Refreshed.
I'm actually going to cast Sacred Flame on the southern Cabal. So go ahead and make a dex save again.
12.
12 fails. So, max damage. So you're going to take 8 points of radiant damage.
Describe how this radiant damage destroys this Cabal.
Let's say as the bolt fucking goes through his body, it just annihilates him and he just turns into red mist.
Just paints the whole back side of the room. You hear this whimpering even get louder. You hear it kind of die down a little. After a few moments, you don't hear any more volley of arrows. You don't hear any more unsheathing of swords. It just appears to be you four and whatever seems to be whimpering in the far back area of the room itself.
Did you say there was 2 people whimpering or just 1?
I just said several.
Oh, several. Okay.
Warren will. I'll just cautiously kind of peer around and see if I can see who's whimpering.
From the soft glow of the torches, you see 3 humans. All 3 of them are down on their haunches, pretty much naked, chained to the back wall, just whimpering. You see 2 women and 1 man, and they look as though they've been basically malnourished for quite some time.
Warren kind of like takes a moment, gathers himself, and then we'll pick up even though he can see fine, he's going to pick up the brightened torch and come over near them and kneel down next to them and say, don't worry, they're not going to hurt you anymore.
Please, no more, please. We're doing what Rogue has commanded for us. We're doing what he has. Please, don't tell him we're doing well. We're making the gifts for a Teparax. Please, here, look, we're almost finished with our baskets and the dolls and everything. He'll be proud. Please, don't hit us. Don't stop us no more, please. And you see that the chains are just been like driven into the wall with spikes, basically just giving them maybe 3 feet of chain to maneuver with.
Flint, Stabby, I think we're going to need your help here.
Okay, to unchain him.
Well, yeah, I figured you may also have it. Well, I figured Stabby would be able to like unchain them, and you might be a little bit better at actually tending them.
So I'll
Just off him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to lump yourself in with a kobold, but then
Gave me the signal.
There's locks on these chains.
You nodded.
So I'm going to attempt to pick these locks on these chains. I assume there's locks on these chains.
Yes, all three of them have locks on them.
All right, so I'm going to attempt to.
You can see there's a man, a woman, and a woman.
Okay, so I'm gonna unhook the women first, or attempt to. So the first one I rolled a 16.
Okay. You hear the lock pop. The chain kind of falls off of her wrists, off the manacle that holds her wrist, and she still sits there in a submissive fashion. Doesn't want to stand up yet. Doesn't want to do anything.
Okay. I say to her, "You're free. You're free. Please, go speak to my comrade Flint. He can he can tend to your wounds."
She gets up and walks to the half elf.
I'll.
Has no idea who's who.
Yeah.
Go talk to Flint.
Go talk to that guy.
Okay. And then I'm gonna attempt to unlock the second woman's chains.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 13.
13. You're just not getting it. Your shit sucks. It's weak.
Whoa. Weak sauce.
I roll stealth. I hide.
It's free action.
I hide in my shame.
And then I'm gonna move on. I'll come back to her, but I'm gonna move on to the male and attempt to pick the lock on his chains.
You see him kind of push you away. No, please, my wife. Free my wife first. I don't know if they'll come back. Please. Sella, let him aid you first. Please.
Okay. Can I attempt to pick the wife's lock again?
Yeah, I'll give you one more chance on that one.
Okay. Rolled a 19.
19. Get in there. You hear that lock disengage. Her chain falls. And instead of running to Warren, who thinks maybe that he's Flint, she runs to the man that's still chained. And she's, Carla, I won't leave you. I won't leave you.
Okay. I say to her, Miss, I need to try to get your husband unchained.
I won't leave Carlo. No.
Okay. I kind of push her out of the way so that I can
Roll for initiative.
Seriously?
I'll.
I think you could take her, Sticky. She
don't
looks
know,
a
he
little
said-
weak.
She'll never see it coming. Right between
She
the vertebrae.
reluctantly moves out of the way, giving
I'll-
you access
I'll-
to his lock.
I'll try to calm her down too.
Oh, thank you, Flint.
Give her a rupee or a roofie. Roofier.
I'll give her a rupee.
Okay. I'm gonna try to pick the lock on the male. And in true halfling rogue fashion, I suck at a 10.
Yeah, you don't make that.
Okay. Do I get another attempt?
Carlo,
or am
what's
I
this
done?
mean? I'll give you one more chance. He'll give you one more chance.
Okay. One more chance.
I got a question. Are both their arms stuck, or is only one arm shackled?
Just one.
Just one? Okay.
Okay.
Left or right?
The right.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. Second roll. Roll to 21.
Okay, that one snaps free. Take it easy, Rafu.
Rafu.
You know where I was going with this. How much do you want to live?
Throw him a chainsaw. The man and the woman, they hug each other, embracing, sobbing with one another, and slowly they rise up to their full hunched over height. Basically, they're just, you could tell they're emaciated. They haven't eaten in forever. Their breath just reeks from being dehydrated. And not to mention
I'll-
their hands probably smells like shit.
Yeah, at that
Favorite
point in
kind.
time, since everyone's unshackled, unchained, I'll start breaking away some food that I had in my satchel, and along with my water bladder that I had.
Okay. And then they start
And just-
nibbling
yeah.
little by little. I mean, they probably haven't eaten very much in a very long time, so their stomach probably wouldn't handle a huge onslaught of turkey and fucking gravy and shit. So they're just niddling on this thing. The woman that's hanging onto you, Sirkin, says, I must get back to my mother. I've been gone so long, she must be worried about me.
How long have you been gone for? How long have you been here?
Weeks, maybe a month. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I could only go by how often they take the things that we've made for this Ateparax and how often I'm allowed to relieve myself. But maybe a
What-
month, a couple weeks.
What are they having you make for a Teparax?
And she kind of points at the ground, and you see there's baskets, there's like straw dolls that have been woven together, there's dresses, there's just all kinds of shit, just
Like-
garbage.
Crafts.
Yeah,
and-
it is crafts, arts and crafts, basically.
So Stabby asks, more importantly, who is the Teparax?
We've already been over this.
Yeah.
Stabby's not very bright. He's just a rogue. All he does is stab.
He did just lose half of his points.
This is true. No,
One too
we
many
had,
hits from the
well,
snake.
according to what Warren recalls, a Teparax is actually I believe, a black dragon that was of a respectable power back in Warren's old days, back in the days of Tula Belheim, who Tula, Warren's cousin, had actually fought and supposedly vanquished. Apparently, that's not the case.
So he is disrespectful now?
That is for you, Warren. A gold doubloon.
Nice.
That's actually my very first gold doubloon. Thank you.
Yeah.
So he's a disrespectful black dragon? Previously respectful?
Oh, there's no black dragon that's respectful, so.
Okay.
Black dragons matter. And with that, we will bring this episode to a close.
Hey, at least we freed the slaves.
Yes.
For now.
Yes. I was also extremely happy with the result of that burning hands.
That was very impressive.
Why would
Yeah, that made it a lot easier.
So,
Yeah.
as I had mentioned to the listeners last time, I will be moving within the next couple of weeks, and with Chris has got some things coming up next week. So the attendance for the show may become a little spotty. Listeners, please hang in there. We will try to get as much content out to you as soon as possible. But remember, we love you each. We love you all.
That's right. Party on.
love you long time?
GI.
We adore you all.